Welcome to Cohesive Friendship. My name is Chris. I am here with Brian,
What's going on?
Jake,
Hey guys,
and Jeremy.
what is up?
Guys, I hate to say it, but we did make a video saying that we were worried about Mario Kart Tour a couple months back. And, well, let's get right into it. But before we get right into it, guys, we would super much appreciate a sub. If you comment down below, we would be happy to reply and have a conversation with you. And if you like this video, like would be super appreciated. Okay, guys, Mario Kart Tour is officially out. It's a game, and it makes me question where Nintendo's thoughts are and where they're going with this mobile endeavor. The TLDR on Mario Kart Tour is the gameplay is mediocre at best, and the microtransaction / money gobbling scheme is disastrous at best. It's really much worse. It's really bad. A couple quick examples that I'd like to highlight to kind of kickstart the conversation. There are multiple currencies, which is always a bad sign. Everything, well, you can use one currency to buy stuff at the shop, but that is a chore and a half to grind. Everything else is done via loot boxes, which you use money to buy the things to quote pull the pipe, which gives you a chance to get a character, a car, or a glider. And the highest end characters have a 0.26% chance. Well, the super characters, a super character would be a normal ass character like Mario, Peach, Yoshi. That's a 1% chance. And the normal characters have a 5% chance. So that's like a combined total of like under 7% that you'll get a character. Everything else is gliders and carts. Mario has a 1% chance of being gotten in Mario Kart. The way the gems are structured, there's a very real chance you could spend like $300 trying to get Mario Kart. The last thing I want to say before we open it up is, this hurts, guys. I hate this so much. There's a $5 a month subscription service which gives you some perks, but also opens up the 200cc cup. And I just want to point out that Apple and Google both just launched their $5.99, like 100-ish game download service with no microtransactions on any of those games. Oof. Okay, one more thing. Does anyone have a guess for how much it costs for 135 gems, which is like, I don't know, 20, 30, it's like 30 pulls. It's about 30 pulls on the pipe, I would say. About.
30 pulls on the pipe?
Yeah.
Is that enough? I don't know, that's gotta be...
$90.
It is $70.
Damn! Holy shit!
All right.
That's not right.
So now that we're here, so that won't even get you that. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Let's go. Let's open it up.
While we're making the drug jokes, I'd just like to say mobile games, not even once, and that's the fucking lesson you should have learned. Like if this was 2014, this might have been okay, but like all of this shit is stuff that has really pissed people off at other game publishers in the past, and like the kind of distant past at this point. You gotta pay to play online with people if you want to play certain modes. Like, okay, so that's Xbox Live, and the loot boxes were 2016 shit. I thought we were past that as a species, I thought we had advanced past that shit.
Nintendo's always a little behind.
Well, this is no, dude, they're seriously behind. Like seriously, think about that for a second. This is stuff that other people have stopped doing because it pissed everybody that was playing the games, i.e. their customer base, off. And when you piss the people that are buying the loot boxes off, nobody's buying the loot boxes and your game isn't making any money. And they can't even pawn this off on a second or third party developer. Like, this is their own shit. Like, just stay out of the mobile games. There's nothing good, for whatever reason, there's nothing good going on in mobile gaming. It's just all money suck shit like this. For whatever reason, nobody wants to develop an actual good game for mobile. Just stay out of it. You should see that by this point, and that's the way it's been for years. A company like Nintendo should realize that, and instead of seeing it as a revenue stream, focus on the Switch or whatever else. I thought you were redefining the controller. I thought you were doing away with all of that. Go do that instead of making mobile games, please.
So the late Satoru Iwata, who was the CEO of Nintendo before he died, and now we have a new one, so things might have changed. He started the mobile trend, and to be fair, people I would have loved if they had just dropped Pokemon Yellow in the App Store, but whatever. He said that he wanted mobile games to be a way to introduce people who didn't typically play Nintendo games to their IP, and that would maybe get them to buy a Switch or a Wii U at the time. And I think that idea is solid, but he specifically said it was not meant to be a revenue stream. But clearly that's not the case anymore. And my biggest concern with this is, one, by doing this, Nintendo's a publicly traded company. This could very easily, these positive numbers, because these games are making money, these positive numbers could cause these trends to seep into their console games. And secondly, I think this is doing the exact opposite, where this is turning people away from Nintendo IP.
Yep.
They boot up Mario Kart and they're like, what is this? This is what my kids are playing?
It's not Mario Kart, dude. It's like, what were you saying? You came in first. You put your phone down and you came in first because auto steer is always on. And
yeah, I put my phone down.
That's not Mario Kart.
I put my phone down at 150cc. I put my phone down and I beat people with fake names. They're not actually people. They're bots, but they have names, which makes me want to compete, which makes me want to spend money. Blah blah blah. It's also pay to win, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, this is to introduce people to Nintendo IP is just corporate speak for, we're trying to make money, but we don't want it to seem like we are.
Yep.
But either way, I mean, the thing that kills me with all of Nintendo's mobile apps is that they can play themselves. Like even Fire Emblem Heroes, it has a autoplay feature in it. So you can literally just hit autoplay and it will use up all your energy for the day, and then you come back and do it again. And it's like, what's the point? It's not even a game at that point. It just does it for you. I just don't get it.
It's gambling, dude. It's gambling.
Here's the thing, though. There's something fundamentally lacking in your game if the only reason people are playing it multiple days in a row is because you won't let them play the full game in if you see what I'm saying?
Right.
You're only giving them a little tiny bit at a time, and it's like, okay, this kind of sucks, but hopefully it'll be better tomorrow. They won't let me find out anyway, so I don't know. It's
the one thing I'll give to Mario Kart's credit. I'll give to Mario Kart's credit, which in our preview video a while back, we actually were kind of concerned about this, that it would ruin the experience. You can play the game as much as you want. The car doesn't have to go to sleep for 8 hours or whatever. And I do appreciate that in a mobile game, because I hate when they lock you out for no fucking reason.
It's still not Mario Kart. If you can't drift, it's not Mario. You get to pick between drifting and steering. It's not Mario Kart. And
Sorry, Brian, you keep going.
I was just gonna everybody already fucking knows who Mario is. You're not introducing anybody to this shit. Everybody already knows about everybody knows what Mario Kart is. You're not doing anything with that. It's just bullshit. It's just you're just trying to cover up for the fact that you're grabbing at money.
going back to what Jake said, like, despite, you know, appearances or statements, Nintendo is in the money-making business. So, like, they're not just going to make a great game and we're not going to have to pay for it. And I think this could have, like, been all right if the actual game was fun. Like, yeah, it's stupid that, like, there's low probability on getting the Mario character and, I mean, some of those loot boxy type things. But if the gameplay was, like, if it was fun to play, you know what I mean, as a free game, and then you wanted to pay the $5 to get an additional game mode, the, what is it, 200cc?
200cc, and you get some other stuff, but
some other, like, secret, what was it, secret levels, I think.
Yeah,
like, I think that sounds like a pretty fair compromise, like, for people who are fairly casual and just want to play. Like, you play the base version of the game, it's fun, and then if you want to, like, almost a Fortnite model, like, if you want to pay for skins and then maybe some additional content, there is a price associated with that. But at root, like, the actual game here just doesn't, based on what you said, Chris, seems to be not fun.
I have a couple...
Which is it's Nintendo, like, kind of abandoning their own philosophy. Like, they've been pretty resistant to kind of cheap, skeevy ways of, and we've talked about this before, monetizing their, like, games on console.
Well,
and it's just ironic. Like, the games, their philosophy always seems to be, like, no, make good, interesting, fun games and, like, preserve the brand. And that is a way to make money. And just when it comes to mobile, their development philosophy just seems really different.
So they kind of came out of they really cornered the market in the video game crash in 1983, which was a bunch of shitty licensed games that were just depending on the license on, like, the Atari 2600, that people were like, no, this is garbage, it's overpriced, I don't want to buy it. Nintendo was like, here, we have quality stuff, like, these are good games.
They have the Nintendo seal of approval.
Exactly. And when when you were describing this, Chris, I was like, oh, this is fucking E.T. Like, they just slapped Mario on a shitty ass game it has no value in terms of gameplay, and they're expecting it to sell because it's got Mario on it. It's Mario Kart. Look at it on your phone.
I've got some issues with the gameplay beyond, like, the actual game not playing very well. I just want to throw them out because I think they are relevant to the conversation. So the two things that really bug me, and I know I already mentioned, is one, this is not a multiplayer game, which it should be, but regardless,
it's literally a mobile device.
It's not a multiplayer game, despite the fact that they pretend it's a multiplayer game. And by that I say, like, when I come in first, I'm beating someone with Japanese characters. I'm beating someone named Mark 784 or, like, Deadeye 783. Like, these are literal fake names that Nintendo puts in, and it's been proven many times that it's fake. Like, you can turn your Wi-Fi off and find a race with people with names and pause the game during a race with Wi-Fi, and everyone's game pauses magically, I guess, but yours never does. So it and that makes you want to spend...
That's not disclosed? That's like a secret?
Oh yeah, that's not disclosed. They never say...
That is fucking funny.
So you're doing this, but the game is pay to win. Like, it's not pay to win, but it is. So certain characters give you advantages on certain stages, and you pick your character, cart, and glider before each stage. So that's... Like, for example, your character, instead of getting one item on the stage, could get 3 items. So you have a much stronger incentive to get good characters to beat fake people, but you don't necessarily know they're fake if you're coming in casually. The next thing I want to talk about is to win a cup, it's point-based, and points are based off of your cart, character, and glider combination. Again, against random competitive people. Like, your points have to be higher than other people's points, or you can't win the cup, even if you come in first every time, which is weird. And the last thing I want to say is, if you are a character or whatever where you can get 3 items in a row, and you do get 3 items in a row, much like a slot machine, like, it rolls in like a slot machine, you go into what's called a frenzy, where you can use that item unlimited times and you kind of become invincible, which, like, basically that frenzy thing alone is, like, teaching you to become addicted to slot machines, which is whatever. Like, I get that that's in other games, but the way it's here is, like, ridiculous. But the fact that it's like incentivizing you to spend money to beat fake people that you think are real is just like really weird.
That's skeevy.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up, because like this whole thing just kind of sounds like a fancy slot machine. Like you can win the race, but not win because the game decided that the fake people that you're competing against are better than you in terms of point standing, which is arbitrary. Like,
because they have better gear.
Right, exactly, but they're not real. Like the whole thing just sounds like a really elaborate slot machine.
Yeah.
To get you to keep, and you don't even get any money out of it. You don't even get 50 cents back.
Well, that's why it's not gambling.
Yeah, it's just a money grab.
Yeah.
Please stop doing this, Nintendo.
So yeah,
It's
that's
just
what
a similar form of psychological addiction.
That's what I want to talk about. One, do we think that this direction's okay? Because Mario,
No.
this started with Mario Run, which was not, it had no loot boxes, blah, blah, blah. We moved to Pokemon Go, which had issues, but it wasn't as bad as this, and now here we are.
Not made by them.
It's a slippery
Yes,
slope.
but it's all happening. It's all happening together.
Start out with
Fire Emblem
Mario
Heroes is another good example, where it was like you can see the evolution. So do we think this is going to continue to happen? Is there a breaking point, and is this going to leak into Switch games? That's like the last thing I want to talk about.
Yes, yes, and yes, but
Yes, no.
I think that the only mobile game that they came out with that I would be okay with is Pokemon Go, because that is actually a unique title that works the best on mobile, and it's not just some nostalgia grab. Every other Nintendo mobile game has been, oh, we're just calling this some bigger title like Mario Run or Fire Emblem Heroes, and hoping that you download it just because you liked the actual game, and then we suck you in with whatever you have going on. So, I don't know. If they had more games like Pokemon Go, which obviously had its issues, I would be happy to see that, but I don't think that's where they're going. I think we're going to see more of this shit, and I definitely think it's going to end up in Switch. I said that long ago when we talked about Nintendo's mobile apps months and months ago. So, I don't know. You joked that Nintendo is behind, and I think they really are. I think they just realized that loot boxes and this stuff is a way to make money, and they're now in full swing in production.
How many of us, so we all played Pokemon Go, did any of us pay real world money in Pokemon Go?
No.
My girlfriend
Although-
did.
I have.
But you didn't,
paid-
Chris.
No, my girlfriend did.
I have paid money to play freemium games in the past.
World of Tanks, homie.
A very small, but it's like Jake said. Like I found an element of that to be unique, and the gameplay to be fun enough to be like, okay, I'll spend a couple of bucks on the side. Like I wasn't.
But needless to say, that I'm aware of, none of us have gambling problems. And
No, but my point was just,
You're aware
but
of it.
my
people
point was just
might-
that it's
sorry, go
been
ahead.
demonstrated that you can have financially feasible titles that are like freemium and also like adequate games. Like I don't think Pokemon Go was an amazing game, but we all put
But it
some
was
time into
fun.
it.
It
None of
was-
us
it
paid
was
into
different.
it, and we had a good time. If you separate from people who have gambling problems and take advantage of people who might be predisposed towards forms of addiction, like if you enjoy Pokemon Go and you want to spend a little money to get your fucking great ball or whatever and catch the rare guy, like good on you. Like it's a game you can play, and I can understand why someone would do that. Same thing goes with Fortnite. It's not my cup of tea. I think that you can make an argument that the gameplay isn't maybe the most exciting thing in the world, but it is a full-fledged game, and they have made plenty of money exploiting children's, predilection towards gambling aside. Like that is a financial model that is not completely exploitative and can be viable that Nintendo could pursue, but as Jake was just kind of saying, like it seems like they're happy enough, at least right now on mobile, to like just, wring money out of people by telling them that they need to, as Brian said, they need to pay Nintendo real world dollars to beat a robot that the gamer thinks is a real person. I don't think they'll go to this quite level in the Switch world, but I think Jake's probably right, I guess, that we'll see more DLC and shit like that, and not the good kind, the bad kind.
I think it'll be a slow creep, because the Switch is, at least in my mind, it holds a little bit more prestige than mobile games. So
Yeah, a little.
I mean, this is a lot, dude. What's going on here? This is first party shit. Like, but it's coming. It's definitely coming. They're realizing that you guys said it. There's money here. They're smelling the money. They're late to the party, but you know, they're getting into it for the same reason that everybody else. Like, and there's no problem with that. Like, if you have something that's actually enjoyable and this is kind of a side thing, that's one thing. And I think that Pokemon Go really hits the line on that. Because, you know, there is some element of enjoyment to the game itself. I mean, it was bugged as fuck, but like, that was kind of fun when it came out, you know, playing it, and it's like, oh yeah, it's all bugged out and this and that, but you're still, you know, hanging out with your friends. This is just another generic mobile app that wants you to put money into it. And I think that being this close to it, in the sense that they publish it, like Pokemon Go was another developer, so if it crashed and burned, they could be like, well, that was Niantic's fault and we had nothing to do with that. This is Nintendo, and this is what we're doing on mobile, and it's not good. I really hope they wise up.
Well, I personally hope that the next Super Smash Bros. Game, all the characters are locked behind loot boxes, and there's a 1% chance that you get an S tier character, and a 5% chance you get any other tier, and a 70% chance you get... What's the best stage in Smash Bros? On it? Yeah, on it. But until my dream...
It's not the best stage.
It was a joke. Until my dream comes true.
Pokey Floats is the best stage.
Pokey Floats.
No,
is the
Pokey
best
Floats
stage.
is a
Real Pokey
0.0001% chance. That is
Oh
the
my
rarest.
You have to tug the
And
pipe
you
100
can
times to get it.
you can pay to play as Giga Bowser in tournament. But
I
until
know
my
that.
dream is achieved, Brian, what should our viewers do?
Well, if you're about to go bury your phone in the desert Southwest, as is appropriate with this type of garbage, go ahead and hammer your last thoughts on that down in the word box there before you put her away for good with all those Atari cartridges out there. And we're not giving away anything this week, but we do give away tons of dank Steam codes. So if you watched the video this far, you probably liked it. Why don't you go ahead and throw us a sub, so you'll be informed when we come out with a new video, and you might be able to get one of those giveaways that we're always doing here. And smoke them if you got them, guys. That's all for me tonight, Chris.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Catch you guys next time.